mebobo. Tonight, we want to inform our listeners and viewers who are eagerly anticipating next year's expose within the body of Christ of a disturbing development. There is an attack quietly being orchestrated behind the scenes by certain religious fanatics who are clearly unsettled and unhappy about the forthcoming revelations. Dia yebetimi aka ne say sa expose ya yebe next year yebetimi assettle say enye nipa bi de, particularly those in the body of Christ enye omode na ama bebre no ano etu mobia. We believe that this is very unholy. Yesterday, between the hours of 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., I received a call from a man who identified himself as Foster. He asked if I was the one to confirm that yes, I am. He immediately launched into a barrage of insults and threats. He warned that if I ever mentioned the name of his man of God again, I would be severely dealt with. He went further to dare me, saying that if I tried to challenge him by mentioning his what? His pastor's name in today's edition of the Frontline, I will see what would come over. I will see what he would come over to do to me. And no anadro and na chese ure ofre yo audio no ha. In fact, on in common no kro catch him say na ohwehwe afrem wo WhatsApp line, but ohwehwe no we hu me wo WhatsApp. Tena so frame e wo normal call. But may I say we've captured the voice. Those who know me say Kwaku men capture was say dey. Go frame WhatsApp so na be threaten me o frame wo normal call both I'll capture you. Na ofrem no obi say Kwaku Annan na me ne ka say na me say wo ne hwan ebra me try say me say wo ne hwan because wo na ma na enemy phone so na ye kasa na abrante be kasa on kasa no straight me who say wako into straight up attack didi atem didi na sem ne say ya born sofo bi din wa ha and that say ye njai sa sofo ni din ebo including Enana Juwe, see a name near boss Edina, the BC, I was CTV Hano, and Yasam Papa Mammy. To the extent of semitine Winiso, Tiania, I do a minute could be faso. Sana no catch him, Nina or Dune. Okay, Kabia or a can say, or Hatan and Numubia, Granumbia, fine. Nina no me trying say. I was trying to calm him down. Already ready. Hey, just say giddy. Dear attempts to be dear. Now me attempt with me and I me and come issue and come tare and come here. But they ran at the latter partner, a bay, you know, who in yan easy sir, me the Japanese chimano, or honor, pam, call na Katia, and he disappeared. And like I'm saying, I attempted to engage him calmly and understand his concerns. He became even more aggressive, shouting and insulting throughout the call. He eventually mentioned the name of his man of God. Afi en komonumuano try say ni bisa ne say na Nyankopon nipa kuna wo say ye ne sa no oya hwanya on person obebodi, but eventually he mentioned the name. And folks, the name he mentioned here or said Eja Bempa idin obo ma me no. Yeah, it's in the audio. Or say Eja Bempa ene ye di ni din edi agro hasi. God. Right there obodino, then the call abruptly ended and he disappeared. Now let me place this on record. I have personally know of 3 individuals in this country bearing the name Bempa. Ghana for Afimuntiemi. 1 is a politician and 2 are in the ministry of Christ. Period. Ghana had a minim se Bempa dino a din bebre, ebi went to the sports, ebi went to all sorts of. But Kwaku Annan minim 3 Bempesa. Not that I minim 2 wamo the ministry of Christ. Wamo ye nyamijuma. Ena yewo Bempa nso a Kofi Owusu Bempa. Ono so a politician kanena wo Ghana gas. And I know that there are more Bempes out there. I know of 1 Bempa also or sports. Now, knowing the 2 of the Bempes who are in the ministry, no, I don't know which of them, who of the 2 Bempes are all, but the code name be a Ebeka Dinu say Eja Bempa makes me alarmed. Say, who is this Eja Bempa? Is he talking about Eja Bempa we know as Isaac Owusu Bempa, and now he's referring to the other Bempa that we know, because one for first name number. So at this time, it's pretty difficult for me. But let's go on. Indeed, the most interesting part of this entire drama is this. From the very beginning of our build-up toward next year's expose, not once have we on this platform mentioned any of those names in any context whatsoever, not even in reference, not in relation to their religious activities. No. And we state this on authority and categorical. The American Nasi Chenese Edina Papa Beboy say Bempano, Ekrampono, and much as Kwaku, I know 2 Bempes in the ministry. No, I must again state on this platform, say, not any time you share build up nasiwo if you have my boss I didn't cry with you. Even though Asofu be my bobo Asofu 1, 2, 3 BD. Anyway, let me ask you guys, including that animal, what the heck is your man of God? Me mean to me more man of God. What but damn what yare, including those men of God themselves, will tell me I cannot mention their name. The farthest they can go, wherever they can go to court. Now, Mami, open up, Mamo. You can go to court. You can go to The Hague. Anywhere, underground. And I dare you, I'll mention your name. Oh, but Damwate, what yare who with him upwards? Me most house of 2 men of God, me within P higher. But then again, fundamentally, me bisau. A debate and a betty, a debate and a bet prohibited say, woman of God, no, Kwaku Annan metea me bonidia as a sebe woso. What damn, you are silly. And let those men so move and a sponsor. And I'll not hold anything against them because me Kwaku maintain will be annoyed. So I am being careful, say, men draw or soft be a D. Di or the ban, chan will audio num say Jabempa. But the point is, say you no cannot say for sure, and I cannot state on authority. Therefore, it cannot be say ye drag you be diabim, say ni panasemwa. But let it be. I'm moving 1 step ahead. Let it be and let them dare. Let any man of God tonight, I am stating on authority. Let any man of God from the apex of your fathers to the lowest of the class, let them dare. Now we have the ABC Ghana. Oh, bodam. That's it. If I sit here in my 20-something years in my journalistic career, I have served this nation. I have paid my dues. The politicians are paying their dues. The men of God are paying their dues. I ask you a question. What will become a travesty and miscarriage of justice, to say the least, that we talk about a man of God, and that man of God, silly goddamn ass, or no so on Tias here, or no best man attacks or mumra studio has said, Womuna Meden, MFIT when I swear I will kill you. May kind of play na chamo. The Ghana police are listening and watching. I will murder you coldly here as an act of provocation and self-defense. Try and see. I can't remember. Me friend, enye na anu biomo. Enya nanu na mu bedi mu nkwasi asem e wo studio na ye de cha mu no. Sa sofo ya mi ken. Oba mi studio. Was my radio days. Ofa ne hu die. E de ba asem. Na asem ne zan. Ani o. Pani ye ka asem a o say ena den asem bi wo ho na me boss wa Ghana be wo so wo Kwaku Annan. O wie ya o say ya meti hey a wo hwe mi meti me konso enim o say meti ama we twa hwe onwo mo nkwasi akeka na bi nie mo beti me yes how those journalists na dey be mo hwokwam na enye me Kwaku akona meti a obodam me ka wie ya akoy we zi dey on the say oh before my eyes na the whole studio equipments na meti wo say na me hwe ni din. I was just watching him. And Ghanaians, mo beti me akọ social media, call YouTube Edaho Kwaku Annan versus who the man of God. Oni Kwaku Annan be kun was still Edaho. I don't want to dignify them. I've been very close to some of these guys. But I know sometimes I feel say, yeah, she so me ni papa, woman na me tumi na ye djuma na say they just came purposely for and they be American. Asophobia or her. The only time their God will speak is because we are in 31st. Animals, 31st, no nyankopon or the cast abodan for you workers of iniquities and foolish Galatians. The only time ne nyankopon be ye adwuma no ne ye kwa kotoaba animals and you want me to keep quiet. How dare you? Try and see. I waste your flesh here in this country. Try and see. Abodamwa. Politicians no control. Listen, here, two people are destroying this nation. The politicians and our men of God. Some of you. Whilst the politicians are luring and looting our money, then the men of God are also them, sarcastically, covertly, hypnotizing, falsification, and luring the people on one side and taking our money. The common denominator is you and I sitting in the church. You can go and inform us and yamasem. Those who want to know the truth will know. Now, who man of God will say, a choir will fast with you with Jumana. Would you see? Now, we are helicopter, a question for me. Shall you see or memoir of days? Then, unscrupulous rogues, rascals, and ragamuffins. No, my sorry about. This was where I me first and President Mahama. You will do one thing. We need to pass a decree whereby all of these roads, JHS could be brain. Namo crash in free horse. Paul Kagame will continue to be right. And then Untimin could this answer on phone or infra Rwanda ho. Wakio some mischief, some foolishness, free ho. And on a Ghana yentimino, you have opened the floodgate, the space for any Dick and Tom and Harriet, Krasini, Krasifo, and Krasifo, Wamukra and Nim debt. Quotation crown woman quote or Bible yet but because the politicians continue to take advantage of them. Womu shamon komno, womu yepe no mo ba na mo soma mo baby atena. Entina masofo no bebre aflade Ghana din kwasiasem like the other guy called Roger any ne sofo bi ni audio bi leak. I'm sure say manya bi. Odi nkomo a omo kire say ani o asofo na che omumu mienu MPP candidates contest here, flag bearer contest here, be o macho mumienu, one more shan koma ha, no more shan koma, animals, you rogues, a massive munim yansa. And you want to, I'm hey, we do physically, spiritually, I'm ready. Ready. Opa mufan fat atmosphere or the surface or belly of the senior ready. So ube timiada, natural ube timiada, ube me dominum. What are trying to, Kwaku Annan, Miss, what they try natural. There will be the biggest news Ghanaians haven't heard before. When you do best news, try. Oh, bodam. Now, show. Indeed, the most interesting part of this entire drama, and I'm a catcher says, up, Nipo will cry. Nippon or dini di ba na krame. Me mo dini da. But folks, let me say something tonight. To some of these religious fanatics, rascals, rats, ragamuffins, lunatics, scavengers, got nothing, and self-appointed defenders of men of God, we urge you, but firmly to ask, stay away from this platform. the front line as we prepare for next year's major expose. Tonight, we issue this warning clearly, and to any man of God out there, if your ministry is mentioned or caught in the crossfire of this investigative expose, you are at fully liberty to come forward. Our platform is open and our doors are wide for you to explain clearly or challenge anything you believe has been reported wrongly about your church. We remain fair, open, and committed to the truth. The ambassador can say expose any the beba. But so we did expose. That's one time person member will be any. But yeah, but so we didn't be pure expose anymore. The American shop because none will be say yeah. Me body will be a semi bobiama. We called, nobody came. But tonight, me see Sisibio mama, I'm a Matthias and next year number. We did peer, my doors are open. Utimi ba, Kwaku, asama wakan Mentias and Besame Benambi one. Come, me in Brazil, come. Untimi ma, ubetimi a press conference. Untimi a press conference, ubetimi issue rejoinder. Untimi ya rejoinder, ubetimi a press release. Men can't shed that, ni nyama become a Ghana fuhu. Nefi, ya interrogate you well. Finally, we issue this to any man of God out there. Be very careful and desist from any unholy, unrighteousness conduct, and do not, under any one circumstance, dispatch fanatics or followers to this station to cause trouble. No. And let it be known clearly that CTV is a lawful institution. Anyone who attempts to storm our premises, disrupt our work, or intimidate our team will not leave this premises alive. And I need to state that strongly. Yeah. We also for now dispatch fanatics via Mumraha. I can only assure you that those fanatics will not leave my premises here alive. Me can net at all. I'm a down come baby that you will be waha. Ninya me am pat and I catch them earlier. Me rested you ha. The whole radius within a certain radius is covered. Me dunya me was soon the bear shaker. Can tell me so bad why you're well at all. Me, I don't, those who know me. Never I'll drive whichever car I want to drive that quick. Who's a bodyguard team? Ya can't come. Minima the Quincy exam for bodyguard. How? Why? My obi money. Services to God and country. So why? And I mean, who so be suit to me came. I hardly would take people in my car. I drive and I move alone and I do my things. Minim why? And because of that, also who be chasing me. Who they dimity? Opa follow me with motorbike or a car. Come. Problem. Now, finally, we will not stand for any intimidation. And I'm to say, when you enter the premises, I can assure you, you will not leave the premises alive. We will not tolerate any harassment, coercion, or interference of any kind. We state this firmly and without equivocation. The front line will not, cannot, and any form of intimidation or threat. Nobody, listen for the last, nobody can what? Stop us. Only God can stop us. Upa, a bishop of whatever. Now you're the archbishop or what? I don't give a heck of you. You can. Nobody can stop us. Only God can stop us, folks. And see, moon taking notes. And to who say ni panwa, who say yasmano. Was so for our kind of body dinner. What's the friend Eja Bempa? I don't know which of Eja Bempa, but they didn't know my bono. If Eja Bempa kuno ye na de papa, Ghana funinim. Say Eja Bempa kuno onya de papa, Ghana funinim. What bodam? Yet your memoir, I saw for me bejina memoir. Some of them they came even on my platform. Me show mudi and Kwaku. I got so many enemies onto myself. Today, people still believe say yeah, me omu enemies for want of what? I gave some of them space. Come, do your preaching. No, they are saying they are betumas as and me who marching. You crow mayemu. Yet your memu also for bit me left in sa any nano edu 2 bedroom said John Dramani Mahama is carrying their bank coffin to Naka. Alright? Me platform soon as I didn't see you. Or say, John Dramani Mahama Esufundaka. At the 11th hour, that same man of God, no Jina, the other side, preaching, John Mahama and Ebediadia. Mean to me, who Yankopon Ben Chrono or Cancer Assembly. And who is that God? I don't know. And in Ampromosi Yama Kwamani Nayade and Messin and Go. On my room. Yes, our own. Folks, now we are. You got the nerves. You rascal rogue. A destitute ragamuffin. A scavenger. A despicable fellow. You got the nerves to call my phone. So, who is them? What time? I call police. I call police. Many times I call police. I take it easy myself, and we are doing something. And to the witness, our man of God, say, "Moya mema, me say, moya mema, come." Now here dear Bessie, sana munkwa siasemwe, or police pennywe, or chill. It took me say my big defender say, and yes, I see you know, when some fool been on the same here. Now, folks, I remember 1 or 2 videos in Efi, Yenfa, and Tridhose. Now, tonight we turn our attention to the troubling rise of religious deception. Of course, a phenomenon that has characterized the Christian church for far too long continues to mislead, manipulate, and drive countless believers around the world into a state of what? Spiritual confusion. Yakikan someone may say, "Nipa be breakran," or "My confused." You intimate which one that we should follow, and also for ways to say, as part of the front lines build up to its upcoming expose next year, the workers of iniquity tonight will take a closer look at the works of King James, the monarch under whose authority the King James version of the Bible was what produced and what revisit the defining what moment of his life and legacy. Mo say muntimi nka na kran kire Ghana fon Bible na wo kan wo na wo kire asofo am wo wiase ha makan Bible no masama kan da ben na mo beka mo ho asem bibizamo lunatics da ben Bible na go na wo kire e wo ho asem na wo dey we when they were writing the Bible, where were you? Go and ask your man of God. Na share Bible na wakana baby a o match o King James. King James no ma bona asem bi a kire mo pen anadwemi de part 2 bro. Na share King James no ye hwan. King James no or translate King James version of Bible no ye nipa ben ya. Ne bobia net is saying who ne legacy is saying ti na bakwasam na fe kwa adwemi. Take a lesson.
King James is the one that translated the Bible from Latin to English so that everybody could know it. But did he have a secret agenda by doing so? Can you trust this guy? This is King James VI, son of Mary, Queen of Scots. And he was kind of a crappy son. Let me explain. James achieved his lifetime ambition when Queen Elizabeth I died and he inherited the throne of England. He was only allowed to do this by granting permission to his aunt to keep his mother incarcerated and ultimately beheaded. If you haven't watched the TV series Reign, that gives you more or less an idea what happened, you should. This, King James, is Mary, Queen of Scots' son. He plots with his aunt, Queen Elizabeth I, and says, you know what, keep my mom incarcerated, behead her, and then I will come in and be your heir. And so they did. He was also an expert in demonology and the occult. Keep this in mind. The whispered consensus is that King James wrote demonology in response to skeptical publications such as Reginald Scott's The Discovery of Witchcraft. Demonology included a study of demonology and the methods demons used to bother or troubled men. Here comes the good part. It was known or rumored that he was very promiscuous with men. First Duke of Buckingham was said to be his boyfriend. And the reason I'm showing you this is because this is the guy that translated the Bible from Latin and English for everyone. He wasn't very Catholic. Don't forget the demonology books. So, you got one sin over another. In 1604, England's King James I authorized a new translation of the Bible aimed at settling some thorny religious differences in his kingdom. While demonology was intended to convince skeptics of the reality of witchcraft, which the Bible tells you not to, so you see where I'm going with this? So the guy that created the book on demons, the guy that translated the Bible for you, the guy that was promiscuous with men, the guy that had his mom beheaded to take her throne. These are the rumored affairs he had. George, the Duke of Buckingham, Robert Carr, the Earl of Somerset, May Stuart, his own cousin, with his aunt, did a coup against his mom, and they both stole her inheritance. She was the legitimate heir, technically. Elizabeth I was the daughter of Anne Boleyn, and technically, she wasn't supposed to even, she was illegitimate. She wasn't even supposed to be the queen. So this great guy is the one that translated the Bible for you. You don't think he did it intentionally to twist things around, seeing his passion for the occult and demonology? I mean, food for thought. It is a huge possibility. It could be. This is why I look back in ancient scriptures that go way before the Bible to figure out what happened. So much trust in him, I don't understand why. He wasn't a good guy. Just look at what he did to his
Great. That we went with King James. We, sir, as of when be brain no crown history of winning, and no answer of King James no more can keke. Show, do you not translate King James in the mouth? One way homosexual. He has the love and passion and affectionate for what? Men. Yet, oh, he married 3 wives. But his desire was to sleep with men. The most abominable thing. And yet, they allowed him to translate the King James Version Bible. And your men of God have been reading it so gladly. Let us once again take a walk into history to uncover what truly happened to the missionaries who journeyed through the corridors of Africa to spread the gospel. Christianity rolled to the corridors of Africa 15 centuries ago with their sea safaris. Most of 90 they know to nothing. The minimum say one betini akasa no wa the voice ni bibi hu bisa no wa kasa one hear my voice ni in a way psychologically to hypnotize the people. Now yom to say the munim nyame asema ama da mwasefo munim hwe so nkurasefo munim hwe eno munya o madin so besua de no eno no it is written nyame akasa kurase ni. Come on, munya Bible no to no monkoya de papa bi. Wo de December 31st ye be hwe mo amode mon commission beba na ya betra screen mu nyam. Missionaries in the Bible dey no be. Listen to this.
1828 Abrofon Suma the Basel missionaries so Mumbra Ghana and spreading the word of Christ and establishing churches in Ghana. And so Fofia and Twata and a malaria kum o munina. Later 1832 no mo sa soma Andrew Mills and doctors mienu se wo mo somra embe to adwuma ne so. Wo mo su bedu ye na malaria kum a doctor fo mienu. Ordinary traditional healer ne tumi sa ama ne yare ma ne tumi establish the first ever church in Ghana. The odi Christo somba wo nananom asase sumpo no. Oyare Christ antumi ansevu no ma wo nananom ene tumi gye won kwa enso no ko bibini yare a na wato ne nyansa atwene akotena saa nkofo wie mu na asese wo mu wo bibi papa bi de ma no daachi.
We're not doing oh crown fast on by ye wie no crown ye aso ne san hwe wo no. My memo, last but one, another funny, very funny and cheap and laughable twist. A self-styled man of God here in Ghana is out there prophesying that he has seen Ghanaians clad in red, protesting across and calling on President John Dramani Mahama to consider a third term. Show When we say Jimmy foolishness prophecy, e be na me be bo akire. Ne we be say nti we prophecy ana. Aseme worker, listen to him.
Mon share message we ma John Dramani Mahama. Mon share message we fama editifo nyina. Share video we na enkoto John Dramani Mahama ni. Share video we fama atofo asem. Share video we fama jena na opoku agema. Share video we ma NDC ni bia. Na mon kan kira Mr. President say me Prophet Dr. Powerman. Na woni say Ghana for asore asya kokko. And Kodan Abu Muti demonstration against the president. Now, when they say, the Kodan Abu Muti, now Ted the whole Ghana, or my regime, a demonstration. Says the president and sign and quarter and the university of Ghana, and President Shamia. Ghana for is spiritual, or must sign at the old trap for 10. Whether you like it or not, Ghana for sign woman. Yes, because when we Ghana for now with Chenku, no one will ever power. Sally Wadi Kachiname. And the president, Saupo, Ghana for sign here for 10 Sana and that soon soon.
Nidini crop boy and Grammar or see the design. Or power bank. I don't know, say a power bank. Where's where you bought down for straight up. Some of them, he's a lunatic. On here psychiatric observation. I tell you guys, many of your so-called men calling themselves God. On here psychiatric observation. Is this a prophecy? No. For John Dramani Mahama to decide so Beko third term an accident. Is this a prophecy? When already within the circles of the NDP, within the Ghanaian society, and where there are snippets of information say, oh, John Mahama, Andrea no third term, and then I say for the Ghana ni ben on tis as way. And by the way, may I say, Mr. President John Mahama, would you consider that? Would you try it? I beg, don't. Mr. President, with respect, don't try for third time. I know, I am sitting on that bunch of that information. Say, enipe bi nyaya, che John Dramani Mahama nko third term. Then we bet me possible Ghana. Nti ube, esi siasam nkom share to say, esi siasam o today, mpechi sam way na wabok color, about the color. And we drown nefu aye bem and we see edidie nko edidie ni medie and we minim edidie ni medie edwentifo na mo tell me mu ha ni Jimmy asemoma na ze say me hu say President Mahama we shaping your makakra because no mo ya fa omo ya from John Mahama say prekope menti ase folks be mo be see ha me sorry so the oba so ba. Anyway, folks, this of course has been the front line show, the very last show of the week. Meba Monday. Nyame maybe a Friday, yes. Editors better so the video. Bibe shema mawa ebe respite so what you say and me but enu ni ntino show we am my at the YouTube no so mo bia Kwaku repeated no he no ahante said the other way at the end repeated no ubenya wo no social media no so na obi kan social medias YouTube where the ho we am here the ho kona kwhwe ukwohwe amenya akwadro give it to a friend, give it to a brother, give it to a sister, okay? Then yoma enye fefe kama emfema Monday ye there some kese bi ba e you can only gauge the space on Monday. Let me guess for a betra ni be din komo ma niama aye fefe na aye kama so I what it I great gas na bo me chidem of course Ruby X sorry Echo Bismarck Eka Production online editor Kings, then my man Joshua and then the indefatigable executive producer Yaba 10 the Nops kama then the two guys out there Kofi Ansan, director of research Enoch Kofi Ejiri, soon to become a paramount chief and am I right Kofi? God. And they did production bro. May sorry see folks program will be to me throughout the week at the idea. at the address in the By the way, the DNA test between the two protagonists of this Nigerian style Nigerian man and our sister Abba Gifty, and also that Yebeshe, how Yebema and Yoma Kona will definitely finish you all there is to it. My name still remains Kwaku Annan, your investigative journalist, the host of the Frontline Show. I'll come your way same time, Monday, 8:05 p.m. Stay out of trouble, and let's see how Ghana will be protected by the wings of God. Bye for now.